What's up, guys? Daemonxel back again with another Eve Frontier video. That's right, it is patch day, and a lot of the problems that we've been having are promised to be fixed with the patch that came out. So we're going to go over the patch notes and, as well, how you, if you have not purchased your Founders Access, how you can play this game for free to test it out to see if it's something that you will enjoy or you want to press forward. Let's talk about it. Talking about the patch notes. This is for the Promised Land. This is patch 0.1.5. So let's talk about now. If you've already been playing, or you've been listening to people, you know it has been a problem trying to find carbon fields. It's basically the lifeblood of all of your ships, your exploration ships. If you're in those initial corvettes, right, to get the fuel, the D1 fuel, you need carbonaceous materials for that. And carbon fields have not been spawning basically anywhere. So they told us it would be fixed, and that's one of the first things that they were telling us in the patch. So let's go over everything. All right, first things they were saying that yes, the carbon ore distribution in the universe, making access to it more reliable as you travel the frontier. So maybe now you won't be, having issues trying to find carbon and having to basically just call out for a friend to give you a refill, or having to self-sacrifice yourself, start again, to, try and find more fuel to keep going. So, I haven't gotten in the game since the patch notes. I've been very busy today, but I'm really looking forward to this patch notes because of the carbon being more prevalent. I know they've been working on it, and it has been over the last couple of days, been a little more prevalent, but now they're promising that it'll be very, very prevalent. So, all right, they added a cycle hub. You can now view the cycle missions accessible through the Keeper. Let's see if we can find that out. Well, I went into the Keeper and I did not see it there, so I'm not sure if I'm looking in the wrong spot. I mean, there's always the mission hub, right, that we could go into. I mean, the mission hub itself is on the main site and the evefrontier.com website, as you see here. You can go on here, and you'll have many different missions here that you can get where you earn grace. And the grace is tallied up after each cycle. You get a bunch of it. I believe they haven't told us what it's for, but it will give you something when the game actually launches. It says here, at the end of a cycle, your grace is converted to Eve points for a permanent measure of your Eve legacy. Now, we don't know what any of these points are going to mean, what they equal out to, but, might as well just go down. They're pretty easy, right? Join the Discord, go look at the trailer, share the trailer, like the trailer, look at all their socials. Let's continue on. All right, this one's awesome because a lot of people have been complaining about this. They added a new jump range star map filter that colors stars based on your ship's current jump capability, which is fantastic. Because how many times are you trying to jump, clicking each star and be like, oh, this one is going to push your ship into critical overheat. You can't jump here. So this is a huge, huge quality of life that makes exploration a little bit easier. All right, the assemblies in build mode have been correctly sorted by type and size. Well, that's a beautiful thing. The assembly names have been updated for consistency. Let's go take a peek. All right, guys, let's go ahead and check out that build menu. All right, so we have in the build menu, as we stated before in the previous video, basically how we had printer small, and then you had printer and printer L. Well, they now changed the consistency of the name, so now it is printer M. So a medium printer, it's going to be medium refinery, right? There's the refinery L, and now refinery M. So that is the consistency that they are going to keep with us moving forward. All right, next we have when assembling a assembly, there are now a confirmation step. Yes, so there have been times when you have maybe, you have a bunch of assemblies up, you maybe misclick the wrong one and hit disassemble when you really weren't supposed to do that, or you didn't mean to do that, and then you have to rebuild and everything else. Luckily, when you disassemble, you still get 100% of all your materials back currently in the game, but it's still, still a hassle to do that. So at least now there is going to be that one other additional step to confirm that this is what you want to do when disassembling your stuff. Okay, going on. Portable storage can now be interacted with the same distance from other assemblies. 5 game. Yes, this was a pet peeve. So when you're at your home base, your ground point, your network node, all your assemblies, everything else, everything that you can interact with is within a 5 km distance, right? And your portable storage, you still have to be within a 2 km distance to move things around. Well, now they updated that. It's now 5 km along with everything else, so it makes things a lot easier, so you don't have to keep repositioning yourself around to make sure you can access everything. Now, they also did another change to portable storages, which they can now be selected as the active inventory for your assembly. So, basically, say you are making a huge batch. Now, I've done this as well, right? Making huge batches of things, and then all of a sudden, I don't have the cargo space in the ship because, let's face it, in these Corvettes, you're very limited to the size that you have. Even by putting a cargo rig, you're at a max at 990 M3 in your cargo hold, right? So I'm doing batches of 100, right, just to preserve M3 space, so I don't have to keep, disassembling something to pop it back up again. Well, it's now you can select it and just have the materials delivered right to that portable storage, and it just makes life a lot easier. A lot of quality of life changes right here. Again, we're in the alpha stage, so everything's just going to keep getting better and better as we go along. If you have suggestions, stuff like that, you just let the devs know, put it on Discord, put it through a support ticket, and they really look through all these things and make those changes. All right, so another big one. They changed the temperature at which you start to overheat from 70 to 90. So when you are overheating, no matter where you are, what the distance is, you cannot jump, right? So then you are stuck bouncing around the solar system, going to the longest points in the solar system, trying to, warp it in between them to cool down your ship. And some of these systems are very small with huge suns, so you are really just trying to, just get that heat underneath so you can possibly even jump back. Well, now with this change, you have at least 20 more degrees before you start to overheat. So that's going to be a big quality lift. It's going to help a lot more people adventure further. All right, the assembly window will automatically close when out of range. That's another good one right there. So that, I mean, personally, I've never had that issue, right? Yes, like, you can have your portable storage open or your refinery open and then warp, to another point. And I guess it still has the window open. I always close before I'm warping off. I'm always closing those windows, so I haven't had that issue. But if you are having that issue, at least now when you're out of range, it'll automatically close for you, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, another thing is in that build mode, let's go back here. It's now going to show you the energy needed for that. Now, as I did in my base building video, I showed you I'm using three small storage units, right? Now, as we pull up the card here, each of those, sorry, that's a refinery. Let's go to storage. Each of those small storage units, they house 20,000 M3, and they take 50 gigajoules from the network node, which only has a top amount of 1,000, right? So, what we do then, I had three of them, that's 150 gigajoules, and give me 60,000 M3. Well, as soon as I build and place down my my medium storage, it's going to give me 200,000 for 50 gigajoules less. So 100 gigajoules instead of 150, and I'm getting much more storage capacity. So again, this is good when you're going ahead and planning how you want to set up your base, so you can plan out exactly how much energy you need at your consumption rate. All right, I think that was the last. Oh, now let's see what fixes they put out. All right, for the direct fixes. Okay, so they optimize the asset collision. That's when you're bouncing off objects and asteroids and everything else. So it's going to improve server performance. So it's going to use a lot less RAM, a lot less memory, so a lot less lag and stress on those servers. The mining lenses are now state the valid target group instead of saying an error. They also dismantled the issue they fixed an issue where dismantling or destroying a hangar failed to drop the stored ships within it if assembled, or into containers if packaged. So that's gotta suck. If you're moving your base and you have a bunch of ships already made, right? And you just hit dismantle, now at least you have that confirmation and you're gonna get your ship. So if you have a ship in your small hangar, right, and you're bouncing between a frigate and a corvette, well, at least that ship will now drop into space and you won't just poof lose it. All right, they resolved a UI sluggishness after printer and refinery delivery. So, yeah, there is a little bit of lag after you hit that delivery, a few seconds of lag. They fixed that. That's a good thing there. They resolved an issue where mouse input interfered with the printer or refinery progress bars. I personally have not experienced that. Let me know in the comments if you guys have. And they resolved an issue with delivering ships to hangars that are too small for them once assembled. So, we've talked about the patch notes and the fixes, so let's get to the other topic here, and that is how you can play this game free without having to pay for it currently. And that is with the free trial week that's happening between the 27th and the 7th. That's right, this Friday on server restart, which I think is around 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. It's going to happen June 27th, and it's going to go all the way till July 7th. That's a Monday. So you'll have that entire week to try the game, jump in it, see if it's for you, see if you're liking it, enjoying it, and I hope you will. I hope to see you in the game with us playing around. Also, just to let you guys know, on the official Discord this Friday, CCP Goodfella and CCP Overheat will be streaming through the channel, the CCP TV, this Friday to announce basically the kickoff. And they're going to be talking about the new set of missions specifically for this period, as well as other cool stuff that they got planned over these next 10 days. Also, anyone that goes ahead and tries the free trial and you don't have a Founders Pack or don't have Founders Access, you can still be eligible for accumulation of grace. That's those missions from the website that I showed earlier through the Missions Hub. And players who convert their accounts into Founders accounts before the end of the cycle, before this end of cycle 1. So not just through the free period, but basically before they move on to the next cycle, they will be able to convert that grace into EVE points, which again, they still have not told us when that's, what these points are going to be used for. Maybe you can purchase things with them. I don't know. But either way, I hope to see you guys in game. I hope you guys enjoy the game as much as I am. Again, it keeps getting better and better and better. So until then, until I talk to you guys again, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Fly safe. And remember, here on this channel, we are always one vision, one purpose, one front. I'll see you guys in the next one.